Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? I've been
with the new old school.
Hang on a sec. I gotta put my thing into its. I gotta put this thing in a drum
I disappeared.
mode, and then
I'm a mango now.
Yeah. There's a whole thing. I gotta hang on.
I'm gonna restore 80 mana.
Yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready. Knock, knock, open up the door to spill. It was Tuesday.
Such good shit.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're here. Ben Pack is here. There's his face.
I'm here.
Here's my face. And we are ready to believe you on topics such as video game. No, actually, no, we don't. We definitely don't believe you on the topic of video games.
No. I've never trusted a gamer's opinion on anything.
No, that's wise, and smart to do. Yeah. So we're ready to take your questions, as it were, and yeah, we've just been kind of doing our thing. How's it? Sounds like you've had some exciting internet ordeals.
So they basically tricked us into they're like, hey, blah blah blah. There's COVID.
I've heard of it.
Comcast is like, you guys hear about this COVID shit? It's crazy. You guys won't believe this shit. We know that out there there's going to be some financial problems, so we're offering free internet for 2 months. All you got to do is click this button.
Yeah.
And then there's fine text that's like, you're going to get 20 up, 3 down, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
20 down, 3 up with the new plan. Which was not
for
apparent.
Free is that's pretty all right. If you're
don't want to disparage that, I do want to disparage the part that they really hid that it would mess up your current internet, and also take multiple days of being on the phone with them for hours upon hours to restore it and still not get it back to 100%.
Oh yeah, I bet the phone banks at an internet provider or the phone banks at any place would be something.
Yeah.
I've been
it's almost like going through all of this is proving that the internet is like a resource that everyone needs.
If only there was a word for that. I don't.
It's like
we're a goth industrial rock band.
Yeah, something like that.
We had some sort of agency that kind of could watch over it.
Yeah.
French champagne.
No, there's
I've been inside for too long.
Yeah. No, we'll never know. We've got a couple of different ways we can take your questions if you're watching us here live. We've got a Discord set up specifically for the after show, which the URL for that is available below the video window down.
Bring plenty of cash.
Down.
Yeah, and you can head over there. Or if you're in chat, there's an ask a question button you can get to. And you can ask a question that way. A lot of people asking about this fat chocobo during the podcast when that came up.
Yeah.
So it's pregnant.
So the text around it says it is the symbol of fertility and good harvest. And so it's a little open-ended. They're not saying it's definitely pregnant, but it's either ate too much food or is pregnant, and they are not clear enough about which. It could be both, honestly.
I mean, birds lay eggs. Chocobos lay eggs, right? There's chocobo eggs.
Are you supposed to eat a chocobo egg?
I mean, I'm not saying you can eat it. I'm saying that a baby chocobo would hatch out of it because birds don't get pregnant.
I mean, don't they though?
No, they lay eggs.
What do you call being with egg?
They lay the egg and sit on it. They put it in a nest and then they.
But the egg is in them.
The eggs are always in them. whether they're fertilized or
same with
not.
humans,
I
too.
think. Yeah, exactly. So I think not all the eggs, but they make the eggs. But I think they make the eggs, and if they don't get fertilized, the eggs are still there. And how do birds fuck?
I didn't take bird sex ed. Hold on, I'm having some technical problems.
Okay. How do birds? I have a question for the chat. How do birds fuck?
Carefully.
Yeah. It sounds violent. Is what it sounds like.
Chill.
I figured it out.
You figured out how birds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes okay. I get it. I get you now. Cock-a-doodle doo. I'm with you. I understand. Angry Hippie asks, with Resident Evil 8 including monsters, what are the chances we run into the poet laureate of the West and noted monster hunter Dalton Wilcox? Better than they were before, but
yeah. Final Fantasy loves it's like, oh, you beat the game, play it again with this funny costume or whatever, and it's a perfect opportunity. You just save points can be accompanied with a little hole in the ground.
Yeah, exactly. There's holes in the ground throughout the entire game, and you don't know what they're for. But then when you unlock that playthrough and go back and play it again, it's a lot like Nier, or a lot like Resident Evil 2. You go back through as Dalton Wilcox. There's a whole separate mini game.
The whole mini game.
It's disgusting. All right.
Let's clear let's cleanse our palate.
Okay.
With the help of our fans.
These aren't fans. These are our friends here.
They're fans of how much they're friends of us.
Friend
caller, if you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What? How much more clear than let's hear from our fans? Come on, that's the most easy setup in the world. Wait. What's your name and where are you calling from? I've never heard this voice before.
Got it. Okay. Brin. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. Go ahead. What the fuck? All right.
This is all.
No, this one's on me, I think. Okay. Wait, no. Talk for a sec. Okay. Yeah. No, that's right. That cannot be heard. All right. Now it should be better.
Okay. Is it working?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So on the main podcast, you talked about making terrible food decisions because of the quarantine, and I was just curious if you'd made any other bad decisions. Like, I somehow talked myself into learning the violin whilst this is going on, and that's going terribly so far.
Well, that's. Did you get a violin? Because that's the first step.
Yeah,
I think.
and I broke a string straight away. Good job, me.
Okay. Well, they'll ship you more strings. Hopefully. Just wipe down the string. Did you wipe down the violin?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's smart. No, I haven't.
I'm gonna buy bongos.
That's a good. Yeah.
It's a good way to drive my partner crazy and learn a new skill. So I'm covered.
No, I want to clean up the garage. I was actually that was gonna be eventually here before this is all over. I'm sure I will live stream something from the garage, of me looking at all this old video game shit I've got stashed out there. But I want to try to clean up, and it's just been a lot between the stuff I'm doing during the day, work stuff, and then also trying to be around, help my wife out with the baby and just spending time with the baby and all that other stuff. It's been great, but it's also like it has not left a lot of time for, like, when I'm not doing this, odds are I am hanging out with a cool ass baby and trying to get her to talk more. She's been starting to say mama here and there, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that's I've been doing this parent stuff, I guess, as best I can, which is not great, not very good, but yeah. That was pretty much all I was going to do. How are things going? What is the situation over there? Is it like kind of the same type deal, like a lot of people working from home and all that stuff, or is it just herd mentality? Let's just go out there and get it and just get back on our feet. Seems like a solid idea.
We finally got onto a similar page to you guys. Now it's just took us a bit longer.
Yeah, well, we will all get through this eventually.
Yeah, and thank you guys for doing stuff like this. It really helps keep, that feeling of normality. So thanks again, guys.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for calling in as well. Thank you for your call. That's this is kind of I am going through a similar thing where it's specifically the podcast and the after show are the things that make me kind of still feel normal, because everything else is so fucking willy-nilly. Even with the live streaming and all other stuff, like it's been nice to have this Tuesday block of like, okay, I got to know what day of week it is at least one day this week because it's Tuesday. And
this is such good shit.
Wrong button.
It was Tuesday.
That's the right button. Let's see here. Uplo says, this seems quaint to think about now, but have you ever seen any good, bad, or inexplicable games in bargain bins not specifically game stores? The Walmart in my college town had a copy of Metroid Other M for the Wii the entire time I lived there, 2012 to 2018.
I bought Starsky and Hutch for the GameCube at the Sonoma County Fair swap meet.
Oh, so not during the fair, just like at the fairgrounds?
Yeah, they decide every once a month, we've got a big pile of shit, come buy it.
Yeah. No, I used to go out to the Sebastopol swap meet out there, and that's where I got my TurboGrafx 16. Yeah, no, I'm trying to think, like there's definitely like electronic stores or places that would carry stuff like a Walmart or whatever have definitely got weird bargain bins. And the dumb thing is, anytime there's a bargain bin full of games, I always look at it. I always look through it and go like, what's in here? And it's always just because I'm not because I'm going to buy anything most of the time. Usually I'm just like, what are they just trying to blow the fuck out? What did they fuck up and get too many copies of? Like what are they trying to like very quickly dump? And stuff like Gravity Games Street Vert Dirt for the Xbox, which practically debuted in a bargain bin. A lot of trash like that. That game went straight to Costco, I think. Even it was a terrible video game. The game's only memorable in that Midway would not send it to me for review, and at some point stopped talking about it completely as if it didn't exist, and then it turned up at Costco like the following week, and so I bought copies of it, and then we reviewed it, and it's
you showed them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they get for trying to get one by. Just say, hey, yeah, it's shit.
Like right. We know,
yeah,
we all know.
I gotta do my job. I gotta let people know, hey, this game came out, and also it's fucking garbage. All right. You got another caller in there for me, it looks like?
We do indeed.
All right. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, it's Jonah from Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, yeah, nice. What's on your mind?
I don't know if you guys have seen that clip of Cuba Gooding Jr. in the club just getting wild, saying somebody sucked a baby's dick, but kind of comes off as slightly concerning. So I guess kind of follow-up question on that. How do you feel about quarantining with Cuba Gooding Jr.? or I guess other celebrities you wouldn't mind quarantining with.
Thank you for your call.
Okay, let's go through.
Okay, first question first. How would you feel about quarantining with Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Well, first, have you seen the video of Cuba Gooding Jr. yell, "Somebody suck that baby's dick"?
I don't think so. Is it recent?
It was circulating like, I don't know, a month ago. It's not.
Okay.
It's great. Look it up if you're at home. I think. I don't know who would annoy the other one more first. Would Cuba Gooding Jr. hate me before I hated Cuba Gooding Jr.? I feel like that's the question.
Right. Yeah.
And I think.
Hold on. Bring that man up here.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Yeah. Look.
Somebody suck that baby's dick. Somebody suck that baby's dick.
That is a good video.
It's real. I just
it's real.
needed somebody to confirm that.
It's real, and also
think-
it's real.
And raw, just like Mr. Gooding Jr. himself.
Exactly. Yeah. I would
feel
quarantine with
comfortable
Cuba
calling
Gooding
him Cuba.
Sr. before I would quarantine with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Who is the last celeb you would want to be quarantined with, and why is it Pauly Shore?
Oh man, I would not. He's unreliable. That's why. Because I don't think he would take the quarantine seriously. I think he would at some point have needs and leave and come back and bring fucking who knows what with him.
Wheezing the juice is actually probably a great way to spread the virus also.
Oh yeah, no, that's some people have said that that's where this all originated from. Was someone wheezed the juice, and here we are. No one gets to go to work anymore.
No one gets to go to work anymore. I know. No, I know.
Yeah, no, I know. And I know, but also I gotta get out of here. Most of the time, everything's fine. But there are definitely days where I'm just like, I can't. This is fucking terrible.
You know what thought I had that really fucked me up? I thought this morning, I miss walking by and smelling a Subway. Not like a Subway station, like a Subway sandwiches.
Yeah.
Just the little things, you know?
Yeah, most of my stuff revolves around trash food that we are, in our interest in having as few interactions with deliveries as possible. We're not getting prepared food delivered. So, yes, there are apps I could use to make Subway show up here, I think, probably. But we're not doing it. No. And
we did get Taco Bell delivered last week, just because it was like it's our favorite fast food, and it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, I really miss it. Let's do it.
Did you wipe it down? Did you do anything? What'd you do?
We did. We wiped down the outside of the bags, and because we figured if it's from a worker, they're already touching the food and stuff. I don't know. We just wiped down the outside and the drink and the hot sauce packets and shit. But other than that, it's kind of like
it's a weird feeling wiping down a hot sauce packet.
Yeah.
I wiped down 15 Cliff Bars last week, one at a time, because they didn't have boxes of them that I could wipe down. I had to get individual bars. And, yeah. I don't know, man.
I said it on Twitter. I miss writing Bart. I miss my commute in a weird way.
Yeah, I do too. I drove. I got out for a little bit. My wife needed some time, and so I was looking after the baby, and I was like, you know what? The baby loves to sleep in the car. She needs a nap, and she's having trouble taking a nap. because she's cooped up and she loves being outside. She loves being out and about and doing stuff and seeing the world and all that. So finally, just like, fuck it, I'm gonna take her. We're gonna go. We're just gonna get on the road and drive around for 45 minutes or something like that. And in my mind, I was like, okay, we're gonna just drive around and look at all these closed down businesses around town and see what's still open and what a madhouse some of the supermarkets are or whatever. Just drive by and look. And then I remembered that the baby doesn't like stop signs and stoplights. That kind of it makes it harder for her to take a nap and all the other stuff. So I just got on the freeway and started driving north. And it was like, this was Friday morning. And I drove to Healdsburg and back in about 50 minutes. Commute time on a Friday, which is like fucking impossible, would never happen. And there were still cars out and stuff like that, but and granted, I was hauling ass. But I drove to Central Healdsburg, took their traffic circle, and then turned around and drove right back. Did not stop the car, did not get out of the car, obviously. And yeah, it was fucking surreal, but actually it felt really good to just be in a car, listening to music in a car, driving a car, arm on the passenger seat,
seeing different houses.
Totally. Yes, driving past the Walmart and looking at it and going like, it doesn't look like that busy. Huh, interesting. And just like just seeing the world, but also the number of things that look like environmental storytelling from like questionably written video games is only going up.
Totally. Seeing like empty parking lots with like one car and just like, you know, businesses closed, like no lights on everywhere, and just handwritten signs in the door. Yeah.
The Cattleman's, which is a steak restaurant around here, they've had a sign up for the longest time that said Open Mother's Day. And then, you know, when we were still out and about, I was looked at it. It's like you are not going to be open Mother's Day. We are about to fucking close everything down. This is not going to fucking happen. And now they have a sign up that just says, we have to-go orders and we'll just sell you steaks, raw steaks.
Oh, shit.
So if you just want to get a steak and then cook it at home, they will sell you those too. And they still have the sign up that says Open Mother's Day, which is like, I mean, technically, yeah, you'll be able to fucking get a to-go order steak, I guess. But like, and I keep getting emails from FTD. I got flowers for my wife like last minute and like ordered via FTD, and they're sending out all these things like, get some flowers delivered. I'm like, no, we're trying to minimize delivery. Like, what? No.
The last time I went to a Cattleman's, I got in a fight with my friend Phil and haven't spoken to him since, and that was in 2009.
Was it about who got to date the Bean Girl?
What's the Bean Girl?
They have I assume it has not always been a girl, but like there have been times over the past couple of decades where there's been a sign up at the Cattleman's that says the Bean Girl is back. Which I assume means that at some point the Bean Girl left. But it
Good
is
news, everyone.
So Cattleman's is a Western themed, very fucking like wooden table, and the menu is on a big wood block, a big wooden like they bring you a standee of a big boot to your table, and you get fucking cowboy shit or whatever. And so they're big on their like baked beans or whatever. And so it's literally a woman walks around with a big leprechaun looking fucking like pot full of fucking beans, and it's just like, yo, you want some more beans? And that's the Bean Girl.
When we went, there was no Bean Girl. It was probably during that period where she was not back.
Yeah, no, the Bean Girl was definitely back.
We got in a fight because my friend Phil was a notorious gambler and wanted to do credit card roulette for the bill, and like talked us into it. Fine, let's do it. Which basically you just like, everyone puts the card in, shuffle them around. Whoever's card gets pulled pays the bill. His got pulled, and then he wanted to back out and came up with a million reasons of why he shouldn't have to do it.
That's not how that works. Like you don't gamble on that if you can't lose.
Yeah. So that was it. We were there arguing about it for like an hour.
Yeah.
After dinner, like after we were all
right.
done.
Yeah. No, I bet at some point So what ended up happening? Did he end up paying?
God, I honestly can't even remember. Like, I feel like somebody eventually, because like probably like a half hour in, somebody was like, "I'll just pay,"
Yeah.
and then everyone was like,
No,
"No, it's
fuck
about
that."
the
Yeah,
principle."
exactly, yeah.
blah."
Yeah, I would. Huh. Yeah, no, I would. I think I would probably eventually, especially after an hour or so, I would hit a point where it's just like, I'm paying this and never talking to you again. It's worth it for me now to pay this bill. Have you watch me pay this bill and fuck you forever. Yeah. Why don't we take another call here? Looks like there's someone here waiting. They are currently muted.
I wonder if I did that. No, they did that. It'd be red if I did that.
Yeah. Hello, caller. You're currently muted. Hello. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I am Mike. I am calling from Michigan.
What's going on? Oh, no, really though. What's going on in Michigan?
Oh, terrible stuff.
Yeah.
We are not getting it done here.
Sounds like it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Enough about that. What else is going on?
Enough about that. So about 6 hours ago, I got an email introducing me to the official prepaid card of the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So other than this being like an incredibly terrible time for them to introduce something like a prepaid credit card, say this was the ideal time, what would you want from a wrestling card, and what would you want on your wrestling card?
Oh, Mike, thank you for the call. That's
no problem.
Yeah,
take care, guys.
Yeah, have a good one. I mean, I would not want it. It's a prepaid credit card, or it's like a debit. It's like a prepaid debit card.
It's not a credit card. Yeah.
Which to me, I feel like says a lot about what the WWE thinks of its fan base, that would be the partnership they would do, because when WCW did a credit card, they did a fucking credit card, and you could get Buff Bagwell on a credit card, which is obviously you would want Buff Bagwell on a credit card, or the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
I would want Rishiki.
Yeah,
just his big old butt.
Just his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a ref. Because I feel like at that point it shows you're responsible. So
Yeah.
you hand that to somebody to like pay for something.
It's like, oh yes.
They know.
So Tim White. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, all right.
Side question: Are there any famous WWE refs?
Yes. Tim White was. Tim White came to our office when Roman Reigns came to the office. Tim White was his like handler, which is crazy. And he was in some weird I think it was like mostly on WWE.com, where he was constantly trying to commit suicide. It was a very South Park era fucking type of thing. Earl Hebner is probably as a goof and a spoof. Yes. Okay. Earl Hebner is probably the most famous wrestling referee. He was the guy who presided over the Montreal Screwjob.
Oh shit!
So he was the one who had to do the fast count to, or had to make sure that the match went the right way, even though the right way, quote unquote. And then later he would be fired for rumors of, he was selling bootleg WWE merchandise. That was the rumor going around. There's before that he was also involved in a storyline where, so he has a twin brother, Dave Hebner. And they did like an evil twin referee thing back in the 80s that was pretty fun.
Was it like was the stripes just the opposite?
No, it was like, wait a minute, this guy's not the ref, I'm the ref. It was like no, he's the evil referee, like going for the bad guys, and like, oh, how did they go find he got plastic surgery to look like the other ref, and
he counts the opposite way.
Yeah, he counts from 3 down. It's ridiculous. Yeah, those are probably. Earl Hebner's probably the one. If you're talking like all time like famous referees, he's probably the guy. And he went on to do stuff in TNA for a long time after that. But But yeah, some people have refuted the stuff about him selling bootleg merchandise and said that was not a thing. But I don't know one way or the other. Like anything in wrestling, I don't know one way or the other. About that stuff. Talco says, did you hear Microsoft removed Mixer from Game Bar and is merging XSplit into it as well as widget support? Okay.
No.
All right.
What's a widget?
Like a widget store, like a store where you can add your own widgets and support for XSplit. Okay, yeah, I think the Game Bar is totally useless for me. It's not something I'm some people use the Game Bar. I have not found any need for it in my life. So putting XSplit into it, or rather adding a store for the Game Bar that lets you put useful things into it might be better. As someone who like very frantically bought a lifetime XSplit subscription when I had a stream go bad on me a while back, maybe that's something I would give a shot. But OBS seems pretty all right. So I don't know that I'm looking for XSplit support into things, but I don't know. Hiver says, what's good software for listening to NES and Genesis music? Foobar 2000 is classically kind of there's a plugin for it that will let it support a ton of different game music formats, the VGM, the VGZ formats, and that sort of stuff. But for me personally, when I use Foobar to do that, and then I try to quit Foobar, it stays running permanently in memory and starts sucking up more and more memory. That plugin specifically just doesn't quit properly. So I've had to look for alternate means, and so I went and installed fucking Winamp. I put goddamn Winamp on my computer. But
Any cool skins?
No, I'm just using the default skin. I'm using whatever the current version of Winamp is, which they released because of a leaked beta. There's like a company that bought Winamp from whoever bought it from AOL or whatever the fuck happened, and they are out there saying that they are working on a new version of Winamp, but they've been saying that for a very long time, and nothing has come of it. So I don't know what the deal with that is, but they released a updated hacky beta thing. So I'm running that, but there is a community hack / mod of Winamp, or probably a couple of them out there in these days, that is apparently better than the official Winamp that maybe I'll switch to at some point. But I've been using that for playing a lot of those formats, plus a plugin. Yeah, so I've been using Winamp. There's also something called ZX Tune that I downloaded and have not tried, but apparently that's pretty all right as well. That's my story. We'll take a couple more questions here and then hit it. Jason's going to come up next and do some gaming for the rest of the afternoon here. Carpe DMT says, with Valve releasing Source 2 and Sony committing harder to VR with the PS5, have you gotten a sense that publishers have become less timid about committing to AAA VR development? No, not in the least. No. I feel like nothing has changed on that front unless Oculus is funding it. Sony is going to have to continue to probably fund development for PSVR games and getting exclusives and stuff that way, I think well into the next generation. I don't necessarily think the release of Half-Life Alyx is going to massively move the needle in that direction either. We'll see, but the player counts are kind of out there. You kind of see what they are. Certainly some people bought headsets specifically to play Half-Life Alyx, but is that enough to necessarily we're not talking millions more headsets on the market to suddenly make that make sense. So no, I don't think anything has changed on that front, and I don't think AAA budgets and VR currently make any sense at all for what the likely sales are to be for those sorts of things. So, yeah, yeah, no, that doesn't seem like anything has changed there. Though I did spend some time trying to set up all the wireless, it's kind of side-loaded kind of streaming stuff to use an Oculus Quest with your PC wirelessly instead of having to connect a USB-C cable to your Quest. And that's a neat idea that seemed a little finicky, but kind of cool. Ian asks, if I set up a Shoutcast server somewhere somehow, what are the chances you would stream the after show on it? Everything is so held together with fucking tape and shit right now that adding another stream out to a Shoutcast server seems like it might be slightly rickety, but also
I feel like that's just the sort of thing you would make work.
Yeah, it's not impossible to make that work for sure.
For the 3 people who would love to hear that.
Well, the problem with Shoutcast was always that like you had to run the server yourself, and so it was like you could only support the number of listeners that you could support. And this was back in the day when no one had enough money to go rent a server rack somewhere and do it for real, unless you were trying to run a business out of Shoutcast, which no one really was, or very few people were at the time. So you'd have people like, I'm running a Shoutcast server. It can have up to 8 listeners. And so it's like, all right, cool. What is that? Why? And then you had Shoutcast relay servers. So this one can support 8, but if this one's full, try this one. It'll support 4 more. And this guy over here is running one that'll support 2 more. And each relay is like another minute behind. And all that other stuff. I imagine it's a different situation now. If you really wanted to run a Shoutcast-based server with thousands of listeners, you could probably just set something up on AWS or something. Or something these days. But that honestly, that was something I looked at for a little bit before getting into Mixlr. I feel like Mixlr kind of does what I would want a Shoutcast server to do, and I got grandfathered in on a plan that is reasonable. They have raised their rates in a way that I would probably no longer pay for if I were forced to do so. Blabbermouth64 says, did you ever get to play with that PS4 boomerang controller? I assume you mean the PS3 boomerang controller, and I think so. I think they were letting people hold that thing at one point. I don't remember, honestly. That's I was there when they debuted it, and I don't remember if they let people play games after that event or not. But yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for the show, Ben. What do you got going? What's your your internet getting closer back to normal?
It's better. I'm sitting at just under 6 up, which makes streaming a little rough.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that not having to go through Elgato, maybe streaming something from my PC directly, will be a little easier on stuff. I don't know how tech works.
Yeah, no, you stole that PC from the office, but that thing's pretty old. It's got like an i3 in it or something. So
I'm gonna keep tinkering. When all else fails, there's still direct streaming from PS4.
Yep.
I've got some other stuff. I want to take a crack at writing a review for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't written a review in a really long time.
No one has.
Yeah. Maybe this will be a good way to get back into it. And from there, we'll see.
Cool. I think I'm going to...
How about you?
I at some point, I think I went all in on PSO2, and I'm just like, I'm going to play that game up till I hit the level cap. And I'm almost done with all the episode 1 content, and there's episode 2 and 3 content that I haven't touched. So I don't know if I'm going to stream more of that. I've streamed it a couple of times. I think some people would be into seeing that. But honestly, what I want to be working on, and I think I will probably stream this at some point, is I'm going to crowdsource the rest of my soundboard.
Yes. Oh,
so
I hope that
I'm gonna point this down here. So I've got this soundboard here. It only has I still got all these to fill. And I know what goes on these last 4 because this was my old bank. So I'm basically rebuilding it from the ground up to make it stronger and make it able to hold up to 64 sounds. And so, here's what I've got on it so far. You ready? Oh, you won't hear it, but the people on the stream will. Turn on the stream real quick.
Yeah, turn on the stream.
Okay. That's a classic. That's just...
Damn, son. Damn, son.
That's,
Where'd you find this?
Hey, that's a real CVS banger right there. This is, you can't... Yep. You need that.
I'm surprised you kept the That's like a big split.
Well, you need... You need to be, so this is, if there's music playing in a game and I need the to sync up with the music, having them separated into 2 buttons lets me do what I need to do there.
This is a nightmare for me to listen to because I'm hearing you twice and the soundboard multiple times when you press it.
You should mute me on Discord is what you should, or mute me on.
But I'm hearing you through Google.
You should mute me on Google. That's my T-shirt says, mute me on Google Plus. A good laser.
Unmute you on Discord.
Okay, so yeah, just get 3. You got that Funkmaster Flex bomb drop. That's just when you got exclusives, you got to hit the button, right? I mean, that just sucks.
Happy Easter, Xbox. Happy
This is where it gets a little more haphazard. Like I had these 2 mostly filled out before, and then I was like, oh, because I have to fill them left to right, up to bottom, like top to bottom. So in order to get these last 4 in place, I have to fill up all of this other stuff. So the ones over here are a little more thrown together. I was just like, I don't know, I'll put some stuff on here, and if it sticks, it sticks.
Happy Easter, Xbox.
The video was fat. The video was fat.
This is a little marky mark there.
Because this coin has worldwide
should get that
limited
Cuba clip on
availability,
there.
Yeah, but maybe.
harder to acquire and should only increase in value.
This is from an FM Towns commercial that I found.
Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready. Get ready. Welcome to the fantasy zone.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh
A pair of Final Fight classics.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Are you an Oh My Car guy or an Oh My God guy?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm an Oh My Car guy.
Okay. Me too.
This is cocaine speaking.
That's
the Eris.
Yeah.
For
a yes.
Keep on sucking.
That's from a Skittles or a Jolly Rancher.
Knock knock, open up the door, it's real. Knock knock, open up the door, it's real. Oh, knock knock, open up the door, it's real.
It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
You little bison, little bison in your life.
This is such good shit.
R.I.P. Wallace Julia.
Yeah.
Toronto! You look at that, Kevin. It's the police.
Owned by the master.
What's that from?
Owned by the master.
That's from Adult Swim New Year's Eve 2003. They ran a bunch of bits between shows from the Brack Show house. Like a bunch of cartoon bits, but then Space Ghost showed up, and then the voice, George whatever, the voice showed up to promote his new book.
Owned by the master.
Bring plenty of cash. Bring plenty of cash.
Culture jamming. Culture jamming. Culture jamming.
Ah, the French champagne.
We're a goth industrial rock band. We're a goth industrial rock band.
Yeah, they don't know anything about a mini disc. You need a good gunshot. You need a good 311 sample.
Which gunshot you pick says a lot about you, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I had a bad gunshot for a long time, and then I found a better one here that I think is a way better one.
He's got a puke! He's got a puke!
And then these are not actually, those are not samples. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. So I've got a lot of room to.
Big purses. I love it. Wow, yeah, that sounds just like Smash TV.
Yeah, I kind of want to get.
Oh, let me unmute you back on Google so
sure.
we can be in sync, and I'm not talking to a several second delay.
Great. Yeah, so I've got more. I can unmute myself.
I think
I can.
I clicked the mute button. I can't unmute you.
Okay. Well, I've unmuted myself. What do you think about that? So.
Okay. I'm back.
I've got a few more ideas about things that need to be on this fucking awful device. Yeah, maybe I'll. Who knows? Maybe I'll live stream some of that and get some ideas from folks at home about some of that stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at. So other than that, yeah, I'm making plans for the future, whatever the fuck that means. We have to start thinking about like things like, well, we're eventually going to be back in an office someday, and this means we need to think about this, this, and this. But what if we aren't? Then we need to consider this, this, and this, because the video game industry marches on and waits for no one. So that's a really weird concept, but it's something I need to spend some more time thinking about. And we got some new ideas about some different stuff that we want to try out. But other than that, yeah, I kind of just want to stream some fucking games and fuck around with the soundboard and have fun with people in chat as we kind of make our way through this stuff. And
can I make a suggestion? Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna save it for the stream, but I got a suggestion for the soundboard.
Okay, great. Someone posted a link in here, which I'll click on here and see if it's any good. But that's gonna do it for us here. Take care, everybody out there. Have a good week. And we'll be back next week with the Bombcast and all that other stuff. And yeah, doing some more streaming. Jason's up next, so stay tuned. And we'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.